Okay, let's talk about that daily grind. You wake up, maybe the first thing you do is grab your phone, scroll a bit.
Yeah, sounds familiar.
Then the day gets busy, you feel reactive, maybe stressed, and then, end of the day,
Yeah,
more scrolling.
absolutely. And that feeling, that little voice saying, I just don't have time, or I can't focus on what matters.
Yeah.
Well, the sources we looked at today have a really interesting take. That voice, that feeling of being out of control. It might not actually be you, fundamentally. It's more like your brain's default programming running the show.
Right, like we're on autopilot, driven by habits we never really consciously signed up for.
Exactly. And you often hear this idea, especially in self-help circles, about the brain being split, like 95% subconscious autopilot.
In this tiny little 5% conscious mind,
Yeah.
desperately trying to steer.
Yeah, that model. Now, we should probably say up front that 905.5 number. Neuroscientists would likely say, well, it's a bit of an oversimplification. The brain's way more fluid than that.
It's not like neat little boxes.
Not at all. But the idea behind it is useful, isn't it? It highlights just how much of what we do day to day is automatic, non-conscious, habitual.
So, okay, if we run with that basic idea that a lot of our decisions are kind of preset, then the analogy holds. It's like you own the car, but the driver. That's this collection of ingrained habits calling the shots.
Precisely. And that's what this deep dive is all about. We're looking at a 5-step system designed to help you, the listener, grab the steering wheel back.
Take control from the autopilot.
Yeah, to consciously recalibrate those default settings. Move from being controlled by the brain to controlling it.
Okay, so where do we start? This idea of reprogramming sounds big. Is there actual science behind it?
Oh, absolutely. It sounds dramatic, but it's grounded in biology. The foundation for all of this is neuroplasticity.
Right, the brain's ability to change itself.
Exactly. You've got something like, 86 billion neurons in there, and neuroplasticity means they're constantly forming new connections, new pathways, synapses, based on what you think, feel, and do repeatedly.
So you literally can rewire your brain.
Throughout your entire life, yes. Now, one source we saw did mention it might be, easier before age 35 or so.
I saw that too. Like it gets harder as you get older.
Well, that's a common idea, but it needs a bit of nuance. Sure, plasticity might peak when we're young and maybe decline slightly after our mid-20s.
But it doesn't stop.
Absolutely not. It persists lifelong. Think about people recovering from strokes, even much later in life, relearning how to move or speak. That's neuroplasticity in action. Your ability to change habits, learn new things. It doesn't just switch off.
Okay, that's good to hear. So to really see the power of this mental reprogramming in action, you brought up Michael Phelps.
Ah, yes. The ultimate example, maybe.
The legendary swimmer. What happened with him?
Okay, so picture this. Beijing Olympics 2008. Phelps is in the 200-meter butterfly final. He's going for gold.
High stakes.
Extremely. And then disaster strikes. Halfway through, his goggles completely fill with water. He can't see a thing. Blind for the last 150 meters.
No way. In an Olympic final, what did he do? Most people would just panic, right? Slow down, hit the lane rope.
You'd think so, but he kept going perfectly, didn't slow down, won the gold medal, and set a new world record. Blind.
How is that even possible?
It comes down to his coach, Bob Bowman, and their training. Bowman didn't just train Phelps physically, he trained him mentally for every possible what if.
Scenario planning.
Exactly. Phelps had mentally rehearsed that race thousands of times. He visualized, stroke by stroke, what he'd do if his goggles failed, if his suit ripped, anything.
So when it actually happened?
His body just took over. His subconscious knew the plan. He didn't need his eyes. He knew his stroke count to the wall perfectly. He'd already built that emergency pathway in his brain through visualization.
Wow. Okay, that really drives home the point. Visualization isn't just wishful thinking. It's like neural engineering.
That's a great way to put it. And it leads us perfectly into the practical steps. Step 1 is about clearing the decks.
Step 1, reset your brain using affirmations.
Right. This tackles that negative self-talk loop. I'm always late, I can't stick to anything, I'm just not good enough. Those thoughts act like junk code in your system.
Programming yourself for failure almost.
Pretty much. The subconscious takes it as fact. So the action here is actually super simple. When you wake up, before the phone.
Before the scrolling.
Yes. Say 5 positive things out loud. Simple stuff. I'm focused. Today is going to be a great productive day. I've got this.
Okay, I can see how that might give you a little mood boost, but does it? Does it really do anything deeper? It sounds a little bit cheesy.
Yeah. It can feel that way at first,
Yeah.
but it connects back to that brain structure we mentioned earlier, the Reticular Activating System, the RAS.
The filter.
Exactly, the filter or gatekeeper. It decides what, out of millions of sensory inputs, gets your conscious attention.
Like when you decide you want a specific type of car, and suddenly you see it everywhere.
Perfect example. The cars were always there, but now your RAS is primed to notice them. So if your default programming is focused on distraction, your RAS highlights every notification, every ping.
But by affirming positive goals.
You're consciously telling your RAS, hey, focus on this instead. Look for opportunities. Prioritize solutions, not problems. You're shifting the filter.
Okay, that makes it feel more strategic.
Yeah.
It's not just happy talk. It's about directing your brain's attention filter before the distractions even fully register.
Precisely. Though there's an important caveat here we should mention.
Right, the source mentioned this too.
Yeah. If the affirmation feels totally fake, like I am a millionaire, when you're deeply in debt, it can actually backfire. Psychologists call it ironic rebound. It can increase stress.
So keep them grounded in possibility, focused on effort and direction, not just outlandish outcomes.
Exactly. Keep it believable for you. So once you start clearing out the negative with affirmation, you move to step 2, building the belief system with visualization.
Okay, so this is where the Phelps stuff comes in. Spend 5 minutes a day, eyes closed, really imagining your goals as already achieved.
Yes. Feel the success, see the details, the finished project, the successful meeting, whatever it is.
Again, my skeptical brain kicks in. Does just imagining it really change anything physically? Is there solid research?
There is actually some fascinating studies, including work linked to Harvard. They took students, right? One group physically practiced a simple piano piece for 20 minutes a day.
Okay.
Another group only imagined practicing it for the same amount of time. No touching the piano.
And the results?
Brain scans showed that both groups developed identical new neural connections in the motor cortex, the part of the brain that controls movement related to playing that piece.
Wait, really? Identical connections just from imagining it?
The brain, at that neural level, didn't seem to distinguish much between the physical act and the vividly imagined act.
That's wild. So you're literally building the brain structure for success before you even, physically do the thing.
You're laying the tracks. It confirms the Phelps example he wasn't just hoping. He was wiring his brain for success under pressure.
Okay, very powerful.
Yeah.
But I assume there's a catch. You can't just visualize your way to a gold medal without getting in the pool.
Absolutely not. And the sources are clear on this. Visualization builds the blueprint, primes the pump, makes the effort more effective. But it's not a substitute for action. You still have to do the work.
Right. It prepares you for the work. Okay, so we've affirmed, we've visualized. What's next in shaping this new programming?
Step 3 is about your environment. It's called the Mirror Neuron Hack.
Mirror neurons. Those are the empathy neurons, right? The ones that fire when we watch someone else do something.
Exactly. They're fundamental to how we learn by imitation language, skills, social cues, everything. We mirror what we see.
Okay, so how does that apply here? What's the problem we're hacking?
The problem is what many of us, especially younger people, are constantly mirroring. Hours a day, maybe 2 or 3 hours spent consumed. Well, let's be honest, often junk content.
Mindless scrolling, short-form stuff.
Yeah, content that trains our mirror neurons for distraction, instant gratification, and shallow focus. We're unintentionally training our brains to be lazy and unfocused just by what we watch.
Ouch. Okay, so the hack.
It's a conscious intervention. For the next 21 days, that's the suggested period, you deliberately curate your intake, especially social media.
Oh.
You actively choose to consume only growth-oriented content, things related to your goals, skill-building podcasts, inspiring lectures, success stories, industry news, whatever feeds the direction you want to go.
So force your mirror neurons to watch success instead of distraction.
Pretty much. And look, the sources acknowledge this will feel weird at first, maybe boring, maybe restrictive if you're used to quick entertainment hits.
Oh, I can imagine.
But the idea is, after those initial weeks, thanks to neuroplasticity, your brain starts to adapt. The growth content starts to feel more normal, more habitual, and the junk, that starts to feel like the distraction it actually is.
Interesting. So you're reshaping your environment to reinforce the rewiring, which leads nicely into accountability, right?
Right.
Step 4.
Exactly. Step 4 is the reinforce phase. It has 2 parts, tracking and celebration.
Let's start with tracking.
Part A, tracking. Super simple, really powerful. Every night before sleep, take out a checklist, review your goals for the day. What did you achieve? What did you miss?
Just a simple check-in. Does that really make a difference?
Research says absolutely yes. Checklists improve performance dramatically, even in incredibly complex fields.
Like the example from the hospitals.
Yeah, the surgical checklist study, often linked to Dr. Atul Gawande's work, implementing a basic checklist, just confirming simple things like tools ready, antibiotics given, caused a massive drop in the hospital's death rate.
From 1.5% to 0.8%, I think it was.
Something like that. It's staggering. The point is, if checklists help world-class surgeons avoid critical errors, they can definitely help us stay consistent with our daily goals.
Makes sense. What about when you miss a goal on the checklist? What's the advice there? Because the temptation is to beat yourself up about it.
Crucial point. Don't. The rule is no negative self-talk. That just reinforces those old junk wires.
So what do? You
just acknowledge it, non-judgmentally. Okay, missed that today, no problem, I'll get back to it tomorrow. That's it. Keep it neutral.
Okay, accountability without the self-criticism.
Yeah.
And part B of reinforcement.
Celebration. When you do hit your goals, especially consistently, you need to reward yourself.
The big rewards, small rewards.
Doesn't have to be huge. Watch a movie you wanted to see, meet up with friends, buy that book you were eyeing. Small, consistent rewards.
Why is that specific step so important?
Dopamine.
Yep.
Celebrating the win releases dopamine in your brain. That feels good. And it sends a signal. Hey, that behavior, that success, that was rewarding. Let's do that again. It reinforces the pathway, keeps you motivated.
Got it. Affirm, visualize, curate your input, track, celebrate. That's 4. What's the final step?
Step 5 ties it all together with physiology. It's about resonance, frequency, and breathing.
Okay, breathing. How does that fit into reprogramming your mind?
The action is really simple. Practice rhythmic breathing daily. Just inhale slowly for about 5 or 6 seconds, maybe hold for a second, then exhale slowly for 5 or 6 seconds.
Like box breathing or paced breathing?
Exactly. Simple, but the effect is profound. It promotes what scientists call heart-brain coherence.
Heart-brain coherence, what's that?
It means you're basically syncing up your heart rhythm and your nervous system. This rhythmic breathing shifts you out of that stressed fight-or-flight mode.
The sympathetic nervous system.
Right, and it shifts you into the calm, rest and digest mode, the parasympathetic state. You're physically calming your entire system down.
So it directly reduces stress and builds resilience.
Precisely. It's proven to improve heart rate variability, or HRV. Higher HRV is a key marker for resilience, better focus, and long-term physiological control. It's a foundational practice for self-regulation.
Okay, so that's the 5-step system. Affirmation, visualization, the Mirror Neuron Hack, curating input, tracking and celebration, and finally, resonance breathing.
That's the core of it. And the source material often throws out that 21-day number, right? Reprogram your mind in 21 days.
Yeah, you see that time frame a lot in habit formation stuff.
And we should just touch on that again. It's a great motivational target, 21 days. But the actual science, habit formation varies hugely.
Depends on the person, the habit.
Totally. Research shows it can take anywhere from, say, 18 days for something really simple, up to maybe 250 days or even more for really complex behavioral changes.
So consistency over time is the key, not hitting some magic number.
Exactly. Keep applying the steps. That's what matters.
So pulling it all together, this isn't about magic formulas. It's a set of practical, low-cost tools.
Rooted in real neuroscience. Neuroplasticity, the RES filter, mirror neurons, dopamine, HRV.
All designed to help you shift the control center.
Yeah, moving away from being run by those automatic, often distracted, subconscious programs.
And putting your conscious, intentional mind firmly back in the driver's seat.
Making every bit of effort you put in more focused, more deliberate, and ultimately way more effective.
Which leads us perfectly to a final thought for you to consider. We talked about that incredible study where just imagining playing the piano built the same neural connections as actually practicing.
Yeah, the power of visualization.
So if your brain can build the architecture for a skill just through focused imagination, what's one major goal you have right now? Maybe a complex project, a difficult conversation you need to have, learning a new skill. What if you started building the neural architecture for that goal tonight? Without lifting a finger, without spending any money, just closing your eyes, visualizing the process, the success. What would happen if you started experimenting with that new control panel?